I am S. Geeta, Assistant Professor of Information Technology in K.S.Rangasamy College of Technology. Today we are going to say about classes and objects in object-oriented programming. Okay. First we will say about what is structure in C. The structure is user-defined data type, which is nothing but the name of the structure can be given by the user. And also it is a combination of different data types. So you can give any type of data types like integer, floats, you can give any type. The problem with the structure is the member variables can only declare inside the structure. The members functions cannot be declared inside the structure. To overcome this or to reduce this problem, or the C++ support us to declare the member variables and member functions inside the structure. The functions are not permitted as a member in the structure, and there is no security in the structure, but C++ provides the data security by using the concept of data hiding. Next we will see about C++ class. The class is similar to structure. We know that the class is very similar to structure. Class is nothing but grouping of variables of different data types and functions. Each variable of class is called member variable, and each function is called as member function in C++ concept. Okay. The programmer may or may not allow direct use of data. If the programmer wish to don't allow direct use of data, they are going for the data hiding concept, or we can other ways we can say that encapsulation. And the member functions can directly access the data in class. Okay. Next, the class is used to pack the data members and member function together, and the class has a mechanism of preventing data from direct access, or other classes data also, other classes member also cannot use the data. And the class declaration is known as formation of a new abstract data type. Then the class declaration is normally ends with semicolon. It is a little different from other programmings because we are using a semicolon at the end of the statement only, but here at the end of the class we are using the semicolon. Next one, here these are the major points in the classes. Access specifiers. By using these concepts only, we can prevent the data direct access, or we can hide the data from the other users. There are private, protected and public. We will see one by one in detailed manner. First one, public keyword. The data members and member functions can be a public. Either the variables or the functions both can be in public. It is up to the programmer's coding level. Then the class public members can be accessed by the objects directly like structure. Here we can see when the private members, the data members are declared as a public, the object in the main function can directly use the member variables. If it is not, then the object should be use the member function to access those variables. That is the major difference. So this is the simple sample for public keyword. First one is we are initializing a class name is item, then we are declaring three variables as code number, price and quantity in public. So while we are declaring the variables in public, that means in the main function the objects can directly access the variables code number, price and quantity. Next we are declaring the another member function is total price. Here the data type is void, so obviously there is no return type here, but at the when it is the brief manner we can see what is the member function, then how can we access the member function. Next one, the private keyword. The private keyword is used to prevent the direct access of member variables or functions by the object. So it is restricting here the direct access of the data member from the object is restricting here. So if you are not declaring any kind of access specifier for your variable, then automatically it will be considered as a private. So that is the second point. The class members by default is private. So here the same as the public, the private also access specifier using here the three variables code number, price and quantity are declaring here. Next one, protected. The only difference between protected and private access specifier is when you are giving protected access specifier, in the concept of inheritance you can directly use the member variable. Yeah, but in the side of private we cannot use the direct access. As similar the private and public keyword, the protecting keyword also using the same syntax. We are using here protected and code number, price, quantity variables. So it is similar to the other access specifiers. Next one, okay, so far we have seen the access specifiers, classes. Next the major important is object. So object declaration finishes the entire classes. When you are declaring the classes, it is just a structure of, it is just a skeleton of a coding. When you are declaring object, that means that is the soul of the entire program. By using the object only we can access any variables, we can access any functions by using objects only. So the syntax for the object declaration is class name and object name. Class name space object name. We can see the example here, box A. Here box is the class name and A is the object name. This is just a simple declaration of object. Okay. Here we can see the coding for the class and object. The class name is item. Then we are using the access specifier for the variable is public, code number, price, quantity. Then the member function here is total price. It is declared as a void, and noted that the member function also declared in public, so that the object can directly use the variables and the member functions also. Next, at the end of the class we are giving a semicolon to terminate the class function. Next one, the main function. So the main is opening. First line it should be the object declaration. Object declaration syntax, we know the class name and object name. Here the class name is item, then the objects are A and B. So these are the sample objects for the given class. Next one, access specifier and their scope. What are the scope of access specifier? As we have seen initially, public is direct use of data members from the object. So without using the member function, we can use the member variables directly. But when the time of private and protected, when your programmer given private and protected, the objects cannot directly use the member variables, so that it is belonging to the member function for the access of member variables only. So at that time you should give the member function in public manner. You should not give the member function in private or protected. If it is so, we cannot access the private member variables. Next. So here is the sample for everything, class, object and access specifier. As we start the header file hash include iostream, and we are using the namespace standard library here. Then class, customer is a class name, and we are opening. The member variables are declared here, CID, which is meant by customer ID, name and balance. Balance is given in float data type and name is given in character data type. All these member variables are given under private, so that the object cannot use directly access the these variables. Next one, there are two member functions are declared here. One is void read and another one is void display. So these member functions are given in public, so that your object can be accessed through the member function to the member variables. So first member function is read method. Read function, by using the read in the read function we are getting the input from the customer. We are getting input from the programmer. The inputs are customer ID, name and balance by using the C in keyword. Next one, the another function is display function. In this display function we are displaying the printing statement. Simply we are getting input and we are displaying the input, the same input what we got, CID, C name and balance. We are displaying the output. At the end of the class name it is terminated with semicolon. Next, here the main function, and main function next line is object declaration, customer, C1 and C2. C1, C2 are two objects here. By using the object we are accessing those variables. First, for accessing those variables we have to use the function first by using the customer object name C1, C2. So we are written the coding like C1 dot read. First when we all know that when the program is running, the compiler will not refer the class, the compiler will refer only the main function. So at the starting of the main function, the second line is c1.read. When the line reads c1.read, it is automatically go to the class member, customer class, and the customer class there are input getting. Then after reading this, it is comes to the next line c2.read. For the second object, we are reading the second input. Once we are completing the reading input, the next line is c1.display. So when the display line exits, it goes to the function display. There is a display statement for input. So what we get the input will be displayed in the output, similar to the second object c2.display. At the end of the main function, return 0 for printing the values. We are closing the program. Next one is defining member function. So far we have seen member function, member variables. Now we can see how the member function can be defined. There are two ways of defining the member function. One is inside the class and another one is outside the class. Okay, first one is the function can be declared and defined inside the class. That means function declaration and function definition both can be inside the class, and another one is the function can be declared in the class and the function definition can be outside the class. We will see in detailed manner with program. So this is the program for function declaration inside the class and function definition outside the class. So before program is sample for function declaration and definition inside the class. So here you can see the void display function is declared inside the class, and after declaration the class is closed with a semicolon. So next, outside the class the function is defining here. So for defining that, we are using the scope resolution. We all know that scope resolution is to access the global variables. Here what is meant by global resolution? Global variable access means we are closed the class, right? So we closed the class, but we want to use the variables, so that we are referring the global access scope resolution access here. So the syntax for the outside the definition is void. Next one, void is nothing but any data type. You can give any data type, class name, scope resolution operator, then what is the function we are declared in the class. So the function we are declared in the class is display, so we are using it outside the class. Then function definition is normal, the printing statement. As usual, the main function is running here. Customer is a class name, C1 is a object name. We are using the object name C1 to read the function C1.read, then C1.display to display the function. At the end of the function, we are completing this concept. Okay, thank you so much.